Doom is one of the greatest Marvel villains ever. He has the intellect that rivals Mr. Fantastic. He is close to rivaling, if not surpassing, Doctor Strange in some situations, literally becoming Sorcerer Supreme. But behind the feats, behind the Doom bots, behind him beefing with alternate versions of himself, breaking time and space and creating Marvel rivals, making the first Ultimate Alliance game, getting the superhero squad together, and making sick music. Behind all of that, there's a pain, a reason, a divine force for why and how Doom became the man we know today. And behind all of the amazing things that he has done, there is nothing but a broken boy, desperate for love. So join me on this journey to find out more about the man behind the mask and how we are all doomed. It starts in Latveria, where a group of gypsies are forced to live on the move due to the hate for their kind. The king of Latveria is very corrupt and a hateful ruler who has made the land of Latveria hell. One woman in the group of gypsies gets tired of these attacks on her people, and so she turns to dark arts. This woman would be Victor Von Doom's mother. Doom would be born and she would continue to look into dark arts, and Doom would describe her touch as getting colder and colder the more she messed around with it. Eventually, she would make a deal with the devil, allowing her to have the strength to fight back against the armies for just one night. She would kill as many guards as she could, but soon as the sun rose, she would regret her decision, and she would be murdered by the king's men. The funeral would be held where a 4-year-old Doom watched his mother be buried into a nameless grave. The other gypsies would try to kick Doom and his father out, but the young Doom told the group that if they kicked him out, that one day he would return when he was powerful and would make sure his revenge was known. And that threat alone made the others let him stay. Although he'd be grieving about his mother's death, the only thing that ever brought him joy was his childhood friend, Valeria. Although she brought him joy, he knew that it wouldn't last forever. The king's wife was dying, and so seeking any help he could, the king went to the gypsies. And Doom's father was chosen to help him because of his healing abilities. He went and tried to heal her, but she was already too far gone, and he couldn't do anything to help her. So when she died, the king hunted Doom's father and himself, and they were forced to live on the run during the winter. In one cold winter night, his father was frozen to death, with Doom still in his arms. Doom was stuck in his frozen father's arms, and he waited there, expecting to die too. However, the other gypsies found him and brought him back from the brink of death, and with Doom losing everything, he dove into his mother's magic. It would be at this time that Doom would become locked in, and getting stronger and becoming someone who could do whatever they wanted, vowing to one day take over Latveria and avenge his mother and father's death. So after learning all he could about the magic, he began to look into science. He excelled in both. Doom had always been beyond smart. He claimed that he had memories of his whole life, even being in his mother's womb, and that he knew he was bound for greatness. One night, after being frustrated at some failed experiments, he went on a walk without any of his weapons or anyone knowing. Because of his parents' past and the infamy around Latveria, Doom was constantly being hunted, and on that night, a man pointed a gun at him and threatened his life, and Doom would kill someone with his bare hands. And from this moment, he realized how easy it was to kill, how precious life was. He would lose his innocence that night and run away. After becoming so gifted in science, a scout from America would offer Doom money and education in exchange for working for the American government. And because of the traumatic thing that he had just done, he ran to America. He would give the American government the bare minimum in order to learn more about science. There at his school, he would meet Reed Richards, whom Doom didn't find interesting or important, finding him more annoying, and was irritated that he thought he was on the same level as Doom. He had been given a lab in his room where he was working on a device that would allow him to talk to his mother. Before he tested the device, a curious Reed Richards entered the room, hoping to talk to his fellow classmate. He saw the notes on the experiment and found some of the equations to be off. Doom wouldn't listen to him and found them to be fine. He started the device and found his mother, who was being held by a demon. See, she had made a deal where her soul would remain with the devil who gave her the powers of that night. Doom tried to save her, but the demon was too powerful. The machine would blow up, causing Doom's face to be destroyed, and he would feel the heat from the wound that the demon gave him. It wasn't that he failed that destroyed his mental state. He became haunted by the fact that his mother was trapped, and he couldn't help her. He had been embarrassed by the demon, permanently scarring his face, and there's one thing that Doom hates, and it's those who think they are superior than Doom. He would be kicked out of school for the experiment, and the government would take away his funds. Doom didn't want any of his work to be in the American government's hands, so he destroyed all the experiments and left to Europe. There he would be depressed and constantly haunted by the devil that his mother was trapped with. Also, the Russian government would find out where Doom was and would try to harass him and try to get him to work for the Russian government, and Doom would constantly escape. One day he would run into Valeria, his old childhood friend, and Doom would become happy again. They were in love, she loved him for who he was, even with his messed up face. During this time, the demon wouldn't haunt Doom, and his life was good, until the Russian government took it too far and captured Valeria, and Doom had no choice but to work for them, until a monk saved him and Valeria. This monk told Doom of a legend. A man who hides his face from the world would one day go and learn magic from their temple and become the master of it. So Doom was once again forced by destiny to leave his love behind. He would leave Valeria and go to the mountains to train with the Tibet monks. There, he would master magic and become their ruler. After completing his transformation and learning everything that he could from the monks, Doom wanted to catch up on all the events happening around the world. He turns on the TV to see Dr. Reed Richards receiving an award and being called the smartest man alive. And this angers Doom, because he is the smartest and he has no superior. So from this point forward, he wanted all the other monks to refer to him only as Dr. Doom. Wanting to evolve beyond worldly weaknesses and not be controlled by haunted outside forces, Doom wanted to evolve and become something beyond what earthly things people have known. So him and the monks created a mask and a suit, which would become the look we know today. This suit uses super advanced technology and also uses advanced magic on it. The mask would permanently be put on his face, and the Dr. Doom we know would be born. Wanting to turn to Latveria and rule over it, Doom headed back with his closest underling and begins to make his presence known. Doom could easily fly up to the castle and take on the whole Latverian government single-handedly, but he wants the people to love him. He wants the people to have all the respect for him. So he goes around the country helping people and building a resistance. And soon, the whole country loves Doom and fights alongside him to take down the corrupt government. Doom finally finishes the promise that he had started all those years ago, and kills the king, and is now the beloved ruler of Latveria. He summons the demon and tells him that he wants his mother's soul, and the demon said that they could fight for it. If Doom wins, she will be set free but put in a place where he will never see her. And if the devil wins, then the people will slowly lose respect for Doom and hate him more and more. And Doom takes this deal. So this is when Doctor Strange comes in to help Doom. The Vishanti calls the greatest sorceress around the world to test who will become the Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange and Dr. Doom, along with all others, begin the test, and the other sorcerers quickly get brain controlled, leaving Doom and Strange fending them off. This leaves Doctor Strange impressed by how easy Doom is holding back and displaying all of his magic. Although we see what Doom's saying, and he's saying it's taking all of his willpower to hold them off. In the end, Doctor Strange wins the contest, still remaining the Sorcerer Supreme. However, the Vishanti grants the wish of anyone who survived the test, meaning Strange must do something for Dr. Doom. At first, Doctor Strange is very angry. Why should he help one of the greatest villains and a ruthless dictator? But the Vishanti's will must be done. So Doom takes Doctor Strange to Latveria, and there, Doctor Strange sees how happy the people are and how they praise Doom. He sees the people so happy and the country prospering. Doom tells his people to treat Strange as an honored guest, and Doctor Strange is stunned by all the respect and the way Doom runs his country. Doom reveals that his wish that Doctor Strange must help him do is save his mother. He explains that each year he continues to fight the demon, but it always ends in a draw. This is where it's a little retconned, where the demon ends up being Mephisto. So his mother made a deal with Mephisto, and that's how she got the powers that night. After hearing Doom's request, Doctor Strange asked why he just never asked for help to begin with. Why he waited until the contest to get Doctor Strange's help. He said it's simple. Doom doesn't beg for help from others. So Doctor Strange starts to teach Doom a few spells that they may need on their fight, and each night Doom tries to upgrade his equipment, his suit, so that way he can become stronger in magic than Strange. Even after multiplying his power by 10, he still isn't close. So after some training, Doom and Strange enter Hell. There, Mephisto splits the pair up and talks to Dr. Doom. He knows why he's here. He knows that he's desperate for his mother's soul. and Mephisto shows Doom his mother's soul and drops it, and Doom tries to pick it up and yells out for his mother. Mephisto just laughs, telling Doom that if they fought for eternity, he would never win. So Doom tries to make a deal with Mephisto, and we then see that Doom knocked out Strange and captured him, giving him to Mephisto in exchange for his mother's soul. When his mother awakes, Doom cries, happy to see his mother free, and they try to leave hell, and his mother asked him how he did it. How did he free them? How did he break the deal? And in horror, she realizes that he betrayed Doctor Strange for her soul, and she tells him that he is shameful, and that seeing her son betray another to Mephisto is worse than damnation, and she begins to freeze up again, and Doom cries. Strange sees this and tries to escape, and he does, realizing that Doom had planted a device on him that would help him escape if he got captured, making Strange realize that Dr. Doom never wanted to betray Strange, and this was all part of his plan. The two begin fighting Mephisto and realize that it's pointless, and they escape, leaving Mephisto angry. Doom, Strange, and Doom's mother all escaped. She is frozen and dead. Her soul is no longer damned. Strange asked Doom if he knew this would be the price for freeing his mother, that his mother would lose the love for him. And Doom doesn't care. She's free, and that's all that matters, as we see Doom standing outside alone. So after knowing all of this about Doom, knowing what he's done, knowing his feats, knowing his backstory, why is he praised by so many people, and why is he worthy of all the fans? I find the reason that people love Doom is that he isn't really a bad guy all the time. With most villains in the Marvel Universe, you can find that deep down, or at the root of their person, the reason they do this is because they're broken. It isn't because they're evil. In Doom's case, I think he's still a hurt little boy who lost his mom all those years ago to a corrupt country. A man who was burdened with so much at a young age, and understanding that power is the only thing that'll change the world. And really, that is why Doom seeks power, because he thinks the answer to all the world's problems is found in strength, and by him alone. In a lot of stories, Doom seeks power. It isn't necessarily to help people. This is where the villain side comes in. When Doom seeks power, most of the time, it's because he wants the glory and praise and to prove everyone wrong. He wants to prove to the world that he alone can solve everything. And Doom is constantly trying to show that he is the best, that he really is superior, and he has no equal. When he becomes Sorcerer Supreme, he wanted to prove that he could do a better job than Doctor Strange and all the other heroes, trying to control the world and prove that he alone deserves all of the glory and praise, and that if the world was just under Doom, then everything would be okay. In Secret Wars, he proves that he could save everyone, and that he had the smarts and the willpower to do the hard things that have to get done. But I think if you look at him, his greatest flaw is his greatest strength. Doom is constantly trying to prove something to the world, to Reed, to the former king. Doom is constantly reaching further and further, not because of his own willpower, but for the fact that he doesn't want to be seen weak ever again. He wants all of the praise, he wants all of the glory, he wants everything that he can possibly get. And the moment he lost his mother and stood over her grave changed him. And from that point forward, he's constantly moving to be greater than anyone ever was. I say that without this weakness, Doom could be the smartest and the greatest, but his need for validation is what lowers him. In a story where Doom finds a world where everything is perfect, where he solved every problem and the world is a utopia. He fixed his face, he fell in love and had 2 kids, and he was happy. And after Doom found this world, he wanted to know what the secret was, how he could do it in our world. And this perfect Doom starts explaining to him how it all starts with him admitting he is broken, admitting that he isn't the best, and that he is unwilling to change because of his pride and his ego. And the only way he can make the world perfect is by admitting his flaws and trying to change how broken he is. Admitting that the only reason he makes Latveria a perfect place to live in is only out of praise, not because of the goodness of his own heart. That he needs to start working with others, especially Reed Richards. And after hearing how he can make the world a perfect place, how he can live happy, Doom kills the perfect version of himself and blows up that universe, killing everyone in it. Why? Because he doesn't want any version of himself to show such weakness. He is constantly looking at others and making sure they don't come close to him, instead of improving himself for himself. And I think we can all fall into this trap. I know I have. I want to be something. I want to prove to the world that I'm worth being alive, but when you start this mission, you realize that you can never be happy. You can never be enough. I finally found out that proving things to the world that doesn't care about you won't change their mind. Instead, be proud of yourself and grow for yourself. Help those around you for the fact that you were once in their shoes, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You alone are enough. The reason I like Doom is he's layered. He's an evil villain, but yet he wants to see a broken world fixed, and he's willing to do anything to fix it. But not for the goodness of the people, not because he's a good guy, but because he alone deserves the praise in his mind. He alone is the smartest, the greatest at everything he does. I see a man who gets what he wants by any means necessary. Does that mean he's always right? Definitely not. But when Doom is involved, you better believe you're in for a show. Doom is just a broken boy who wants to fix the world in his own image, and he wants the world to know that he alone could do it. Honestly, it's just super interesting, and that's why I like Doom. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I really appreciate all the support, and I hope that you guys get something out of these videos. Talk to you guys later.